What's going on, GameDad fam? I'm Josh, the GameDad, and we're back with Super Mario 3. Now, first, let us go to the matching house, try and get a few more extra lives. Whoopee! Okay. I can work with that. I can't work with that. I have failed you! Well, I used to be much better at that as a kid, but I mean, I was literally able to play this game every day. See, that's part of also why this game's always going to have a certain connection with me. I got nothing for that one. I got nothing. So as I was saying, that's why this game's always going to have like a certain connection with me. Mo! If you excuse me, I'm going to be painfully silent as I get by this block. Alright, I'm good. So, that's why this game's always going to have a certain level of connection with me. It's like, you know, there's games you play as an adult and they'll have like a profound effect on you. And, as you know, it's just kind of a situation where it's like Last of Us. That was a game that really hit me. Both in the sense of I thought the narrative was great, and in the sense of that is, to me, the scariest game that has ever been made, because Cordyceps is a real mushroom. Okay? That could happen. Another discussion. But, so, you know, that's a game that affected me as an adult. But I'm always going to have a little... Oh, I remember. You didn't tell me. You didn't remember to tell me from the last episode, but I remember. It's this one... and this one. And I think that was a mushroom and that was a coin, if I remember, but we're about to find out. Or at least we might find out. Flower. Oh, hey. No. Okay, so mushroom either matches with the middle. Okay. So Cordyceps is real... Oh, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm sorry, I completely lost track. So, basically it boils down to... Last of Us really, really got me, and I walked away from that like, wow, this was intense. Like, the character struck me, the story struck me, I was thinking about it for a while after I played the game. To me, it was really just... It was something that really hit me. But if you ask me, do I want to, you know... I have to relive my life exactly the same way, but I can either have had Last of Us, you know, be something that's in my... Ah! That was not worth it. Was not worth it. I can either have Last of Us be something that's in my life, that affects me and that I got to enjoy, or I could have Super Mario 3 with all the fun it brought me as a child and all that I've played it. I gotta go with Super Mario 3. I mean, I just do. And there's certain games that aren't, you know, and I know it's nostalgia glasses, but there's certain games that I'm always going to have a connection, and really we all will. You know, everybody has that game that's just like, it doesn't matter whether it's objectively good, whether it's objectively bad, it matters whether you like it. You know, and everything else is just kind of there. Like, for me, one of my favorite beat-em-ups No! One of my favorite beat-em-ups growing up, and that I played a bunch of, because I happened to get good at it, I played it a lot, and I owned it, because my parents bought it for me, is Stone Protectors for the Super Nintendo. Yes, I will inevitably play that game. Show you some of the secret techniques, and I'm not kidding, there are secret techniques. So, but that's a game that's just, it's a beat 'em up. There's nothing special about it, nothing I mean, yeah, it's got 5 characters who all play at least somewhat differently. They all have moves they can use that are different from one another. only certain characters can pick up certain, like, pick-up items, like there's a flamethrower and things like that. But otherwise, it's just... It's a beat-em-up. Like, a beat-em-up's a beat-em-up, you know? And no one's ever gonna define their life around a beat-em-up, you know? But that's a game that just, it's always... I played it a bunch. I've always enjoyed it. I'm always gonna enjoy it. Ain't a thing you're gonna be able to do to stop me. Oh, where'd that turtle go? Thank you. Need you. Thank you. Most times you'll find if a level is going to give you a power-up, like, if it's gonna have blocks like this early, at least one of them is gonna contain a mushroom, because they go, hey, buddy, did you get rocked in the last level? Came in here as Tiny Mario? Don't worry, we got you. You're gonna die immediately because you're mediocre at best. But we got you. To which I say, thanks, Mario 3. You're a stand-up game. I'll just let this Koopa do his thing. So yeah, you know, and I'm just gonna ask the question early today. Shout out, what is a game for you that may not be the best game, may not even be a good game? Like, you can be... There are games we... there's several of us who... There are games we enjoy that are just... They're not good. Let's just be honest. So what's a game for you that's like... I just like this game, and I'm not saying it's a good... It's not even that it's a good game. You may even know it's a bad game, or at least that it's not a great game, but... I almost threaded the needle, and I was about to be really hype. That you just know it's like, I like this game. Point blank, period. Alright. So, I'm gonna try and see if I can... I'm gonna carry this turtle shell with me. Because for those who don't know, something's about to happen. And it's not that tornado. Now, I did promise... Oh, come on! I did promise some level of story time. So, I will say, I played a boatload of this as a kid, as I've said. I played it a lot growing up. Now, I am the youngest of 4. Ah, poop. I'm the youngest of 4, but I mean, like, I am the youngest of 4. Like by a wide margin. I'm an oops. Oh! I thought I could turtle shell it. Yes, I tried to kill the sun. Which sounds like a B-movie plot. I got this naturally during my time playing, so I'm gonna use it. I probably will just, you know, to make it fair and easy, I'll just, because I didn't realize I had started on a file, you know, that I had started on a file where I had already gotten some items and that it would let me keep them. I'll probably just ignore those first 2 pages worth of items, and then that's a way to make sure that I don't accidentally, you know, break the game with anything I shouldn't have. I'm an oops, like I said. I've got 3 older siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, and they are 10, 12, and 13 years older than me. And then me. And that's it. Surprise! Mom! But, the whole point I'm saying this is, my siblings and I, we played... This was a game we played together. There weren't a lot of games we played together. Me and the very oldest, Lena... She and I would play, like, adventure games together. Like, she would play, like, Zelda or Metroid or stuff like that. Because, you know, that's just always been her... Like, she's not a gamer, but that's something that, you know, she'll find enjoyable. Is like, the adventuring and the exploring and the puzzle solving. Michelle wasn't much of a gamer, period. Tony wasn't, you know, he barely played, period. But one that we could all play and they all were cool with was this. And that's just because of the fact that, you know, they had a regular Nintendo growing up. So, timing, you know, for them, there's just as much nostalgia in playing this as there is for me. So, you know, it's one of the few memories I have where it's like I remember specifically playing with my siblings. Because of the age difference, there weren't a lot of things we had in common. So it's like, did you grow up with a brother or sister? Yeah, but not in the traditional way. Okay, 1 and 2 and bam! Ha-ha! But this is something where we connect, and so I always have that kind of special for me. So this hammer is best used right here. And that's the secret area. And, oh shoot, I forgot they breathe fire! And that's where you get a flute. Like I said, I will not be using that flute. Likely what I'll do is save. I think what I'll do is I'll save right before I use it. But what I'll do is, like, I'll get to the very end of this episode, I'll save and I'll use it so you guys can see the warp zone, just in the off chance that there's anyone who's watching who has not played this game. And so you can see what it's like, but I'm not going to use it and skip whole worlds. So yeah, this game just has a sort of nostalgia for me, because, like, I equate it to, like, especially my sister Michelle being the youngest of them, being 10 years older than me. She, when I'm, say, 8 playing this game, she's 18. There wasn't a lot of things we had in common. There wasn't a lot of things that she would want to do with me. But this is something we could do together. So it's, I always find that fun. So there's a bit of nostalgia blindness here. But, that being said, I don't feel like I feel justified in saying that this is one of the greatest games ever made. It's in the discussion for greatest Mario just because of everything they did with the limitations. The amount of, there was a leap forward compared to the last iteration. Like, this game's gonna be in that discussion, even if it's not necessarily gonna be the end-all be-all answer. Granted, I did not need to do this because I can fly, but I like showing people things. And go in here. Now, I wasn't supposed to do that, I don't think, because if I remember right, what I should want to do is... Oh, never mind. In my mind, there was a P block, and I turned these to coins, but my mind is wrong. Now, this is not the first time that's been the case. This is not the second time that's been the case. And I would be remiss if I was to pretend this was the third time that's been the case. I don't think there's anything else up here, but I mean, I've crushed all these other blocks. Remember what I said about being remiss? I am remiss. On the plus side, after shaking off that little rust at the beginning, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I am almost positive I just opened myself to immediate death. Trick is wait for the second boomerang. Ah! And then time your jump. I believe the music box freezes everything. So, like, enemies like the roving Hammer Brothers, and there's also, dang it. There's also, airships that can pop up and things like that. It freezes them in place so that they get access, which is more helpful than you think. There will be times where you're like, I've cleared a level to get my way directly to the castle, and then if you die in a castle, it turns into an airship and flies away, and you have to go to that airship to challenge it. Well, if you cleared a specific path, like I said, there will be worlds where we're going to have options on how we go places, and you could skip whole levels. If you cleared a path one way, you ain't cleared it the other way, and this thing just took off with your final level, you may force yourself into playing a level you weren't wanting to play. So that music box is handy. Again, kind of new ideas, and then they added layers to the ideas. I genuinely feel, because, you know, I looked into the idea of becoming a game designer, as has literally every child who's been a gamer ever. But I found that while I love game design, like, in the idea of conceptualizing a game itself, the practical application of, like, coding and things is not... That's not what I wanted to do with my life. That's a P-block again, isn't it? Why do I do? Why do I do? I do what I do, but why do? I didn't even make it for 1 coin! Oy vey! Anyways, so I've looked into it, and, you know, I did some studying, and one thing I can tell you with abject certainty, anyone who does legitimately want to get to game design, words! Anyone who does legitimately want to get into game design, play this game. No, that's the coins. Okay, this is the mush, right? That's the mush, that's the mush. And here's the mush. Okay, I got star, coin, 20 coins, no. Anyways, anyone who does legitimately want to get into game design, play this game. Oh, it's terrible! The king has been transformed! Please find the magic wand so we can change him back! It's more Toad voice. I am entirely too proud of myself for my Toad voice. Yes, I understand it's a stupid joke, but it's my stupid joke. Anyone who wants to get in the game inside, though, like, here's my ultimate point. Who hasn't played this game needs to play this game. This game doesn't actually do anything wrong. You can argue that there are better games, and that's a whole discussion to have. But, like, on the level of the things it does, how well it executes, the controls of the game, like, all of it, this game does not actually do anything wrong. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything that you could consider glitchy or buggy. The closest will come is, like, that fortress I went to earlier where I killed a boomer. I think it's called a boomer. A boomer, or a boom boom. And, like, the little question mark orb popped out of him and it's stuck into the wall. Like, that's the closest you're gonna come to the game being buggy. Oh, what's good, Morton? Morton Koopa. I actually remember most of the Koopas. The first one was... Iggy? Iggy or Lemmy? I can't remember. This one was Morton. We'll face through all the Koopa kids in this before the end of it. Oh! Thank heavens! I'm back to my old self again. Thank you so much. Here is a letter from the princess. I'm very old and a king.
Greetings! You can stomp on your enemies using Karibo's shoe. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Princess Toadstool.
That literally only applies to, like, World 6. Why are they telling me now? Alright, whatever. So, okay, as promised. No. I'm going to save and continue. Twice, for good measure. And I am going to use as a flute so you can see the world, and then I'll turn this off. We'll come back on the next episode, and I will tackle World 3, where I have a bit more anecdote in the way of, like, my actual play. So. You may recognize that from Zelda. So this is the Warp Zone. Like I said, you got 2, 3, 4. If you have a second flute, which I could have gotten in World 1, when you pop up here, you use it again, and you pop up right next to World 8. So that's how people, like, blitz through this game, and literally I think that... I'm not sure what the actual world record is. I think for a real... I'm not going to get into real fake, because the tricks people use where they're like, oh, you gotta frame skip exactly right, and then have Yoshi, like in Super Mario World, that thing where it's like, have Yoshi eat a cherry, and then hop on this enemy, and then eat 5 more, and if you throw a fireball and eat at the same time, like the game goes straight to the credits. There's a certain amount of work there that you can't discredit. Like, you can't be like, it's so easy. Like, no, you have to be frame perfect. But as far as, like, real play, if you will, like, just by playing the game with what is in the game, I believe the record's like 11 minutes. That's how you do it. So, alright, GameDad fam, I will catch you in a bit. Like I said, as usual, leave a like below if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't, let me know what your thoughts, and comment for this week. I did say earlier already what the comment was. Just let me know what's a game that you enjoy regardless of how good or bad it is. I'll catch you guys later, GameDad fam. Alright.